Alright, so let me show you what we're doing on the back here. We're just doing a pad slap. In other words, we're not going to replace the rotor, just the pads. But we need to put the car into the in service mode here for the electronic parking brake. So this device right back here is an electronic parking brake. You pull the lever up and it applies the pads. So what we're going to do is go into the car. I'm using a scanner to release that so that piston is all the way, or so that the motor's driven all the way back, and we can press that piston in. Now you could apply, here's the connector here, you could apply 12 volts and back it out and then do your work, and then you reverse the continuity and put it back out when you're done. But we're not going that way, we're going the technical way. So let's go in the car and we'll check it out. We're in the car. I have the Autel MS906BT hooked up. It's got a Bluetooth dongle for the OBD, and communicating with the car here. Now it happens to be running right now. As long as your battery's fully charged up, you can do this just with the ignition on. We want to go to hot functions. This is the quick and easy way. You can get there other ways. Go to electric parking brake. That's the EPB. Go to parking brake here, 53. And then it has a guide if you want to replace the pads, how, you know, this is for the rear, what you would need to do. We already know what to do. So we're going to hit the function. Push that. Let that load up. And by the way, here's your emergency, not emergency, but your electric parking brake. In the old days, we called it an emergency brake. So anyway, it gives you a warning here about forcing the function to exit during its execution may cause failure to enable parking brake system. So keep that in mind. We're going to press OK. And see, it's telling us make sure your voltage is more than 12 volts. Release the electronic handbrake. So this has an LED in it, which is off right now. And wait for this step to end before performing another. So here we go. You click OK. Now what we should hear is, and I'm going to open the door so we can go back there and listen once I hit this button. Actually, we'll just take the scan tool with us. We've got Bluetooth. All right. So I want you guys to hear the motor, the electric motor, when I do this. So we'll get a good audio clip here. So our choice is open, close, and parking brake test. We want to open it so we can get that piston back. So as soon as I hit this, we should hear the motor start running, okay? So here we go. And it's telling us open parking brake. I guess you got to tell it to start. There you go. And it'll stop by itself. Okay, we're done there. Now we can click, we should be able, and it says successful, by the way. Now the light, what I want to show you is the LED on that is flashing. And that's meaning, and it's also flashing on the dash saying we don't have parking brakes. So we click escape. We're done. We can shut the car off now. I will pull the ignition, the key out of the ignition. Just so you know, while you're in service mode for the parking brake, the light on the dash and the actual switch itself here will stop flashing. I'll put the new pads in. That's easy enough. I don't think I have to tell you guys too much about it, but there's just two 13 millimeter bolts that come out. We'll squeeze the piston in like we did on the front and put our new pads, grease everything, put it back, and then I'll show you how to, I guess, recalibrate this, just set it back to where it needs to be. So when you go to take the caliper off those two 13 millimeter bolts, keep in mind you'll need a 15 millimeter wrench like you see here on the slider bolt. That's this part here, because when you go to release this or unbolt it, this slider may want to spin on you, so just hold it with your wrench. Now if it gets kind of stuck in there, it's kind of thick, well then you'll need to loosen the bolt, back it out, and maybe hold it with a pair of needle nose pliers or something. But otherwise, if you have a cheap wrench, you can just grind it flat and a little bit thinner, and it should work fine for you. Since we always go all out here on the Ozzstar's Cars channel, I just want to show you, you could use this big old C-clamp to press that in, but then you risk damaging the electric motor, the casing on the back for the parking brake. If you decide to go that route, it might work okay, it might not. So I have this disc brake caliper tool here, and I'll show you the how it's set up once I pull it out of here. But this, all I do is crank down. I need 2 hands, and that will just push the piston down. It's not necessary to spin it in. It will just squeeze like a standard front piston caliper does. I know you guys wanted to see it, so let me zoom in. That's how I go. That's how I roll. It'll only take a few extra minutes to set up the tripod. There we go. Let me get that light out of our way so you can see it. Hopefully you can see what's going on. Is that out of the way? Yeah. All right. Here we go. So I'm just going to screw this in here, and you can't really see it. I'll try to hold it up a little bit, but the piston is being pressed in. Slowly but surely. Nice and slow. You can clean that with some brake clean before you do this. So, never hurts to keep that dirt out of there. And we'll just do this until it's completely bottomed out. And if your boot starts to pinch, stop immediately. You don't want to rip the boot because water and dirt can get in there and that would ruin the piston. And eventually it would seize it with rust and crap, so you're not going to have any back brake action, or very little. Alright, so here's that setup. By the way, that's all the way in now, nice and seated. Here is, let me zoom you out. Let's go wide. There we go. So here's the setup. So basically I have this cup, it's flat, goes right into here. You got this piece, and I'll leave a link to one of these tools down below. They're not very expensive and they work great, especially the screw-in kind. You have, here's the kit here. You have these pins like I was talking about earlier. Some of them have these pins, you see them sticking out, and that needs to go on the piston, the caliper piston actually screwed in. So that grabs. Anyway, that's that, now you know. Here's a disc brake caliper tool set, service set. So it comes with lots of adapters. These are really nice to have. It'll pretty much work on any car you're dealing with. The other thing we're doing while we're back here is we're gonna take these slides out. They just sit in there with a boot. So you gotta make sure that these are lubricated really well. This one still has a lot of grease on it, but they can rust and freeze, and that will prevent the caliper from sliding and cause premature brake wear. So pad wear out. So anyway, let's just put some fresh grease on this and then we'll put them back. They just pop in, make sure your boot is attached to the caliper bracket housing, and you should be good to go. That'll keep the water and dirt out. Doesn't take much grease, or that's it. It's just like a little bit on there, nothing crazy. And I usually put it in and out of there a few times. I know what you're thinking, but make sure it's well lubricated. And it's that easy, that simple, and you're good to go. Put a little bit of lube on the caliper side back here where it touches the pad, and on your piston. And now we're ready for our pads. What I do is with the pads, I just put a little bit on these little tabs that float inside the retaining clips. Now, they didn't give me new hardware. Fortunately, the hardware on this car is in good shape, and we don't need to worry about it. But if this hardware down in here, you probably can't see, no light. If this hardware, zoom out a little bit. If this hardware in here was worn, like rusty and stuff, we would definitely replace it. Let me set the caliper back on now, and we'll get our two 13mm bolts in right here. Remember your 15mm wrench to hold your sliders. You don't get much working room here because that cable, the brake cable, is tied to all this, so there's not much swinging room, but you can get it on there without a problem. And we'll tighten that, torque it, be all set to go. We'll do the other side, and then we'll go ahead in the car and reset that EPB. Alrighty, we're back in the car. Scan tool's hooked up, ignition's on. The light starts flashing again on our switch on our parking brake switch. So all we do is the opposite now. Oops, gosh, I think this is out of focus a little bit. Oh boy, we got the sun coming in. Let's set it down here just to be safe. All right, so EPB function again. And what you want to listen for is just those motors to run once you do this, you know, to close them off here. So now we're going to close. Before we went to open, we go to close. And I'm going to press start. We should hear them. I don't know if you guys will hear them, but I hear it. It takes about, what, 10 seconds. They kind of bind down and then they release. So we're all done there. So it's successful. And escape. And we're all done with that. We can just get out of this and go for a test drive. Okay, just got back from the test drive, stopped on a dime, gave me 9 cents change. Can't ask for more than that. So everything worked good. When I go down the road and after a brake job, I'm listening for any squeaks or any abnormal noise, squeals or something grinding. And I didn't hear any of that. And when you step or apply on the brakes, no more pulsation. That car, the original complaint was the steering wheel was shimmying. You may also feel it in the brake pedal if the rotors are really bad. But anyway, I hope these tips and tricks helped you out. If you're doing a brake job on your Audi A4, check out my other repair videos right here on YouTube. I'm on Instagram. That's Ozzstar with the #1 right after it. And other than that, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate your time, and I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy.